All right, guys, our next guest is headlining International Fight Week as he takes on Israel Adesanya for his chance to become the UFC middleweight champion. He now joins us ahead of one of the biggest nights of his career. Jared Cannonier, man, it's a pleasure to welcome you back on the show ahead of a big historic night. Welcome to Submission Radio.
Thanks for having me back, guys. It's always a pleasure chatting with you guys. And it's good to be back.
the pleasure is all ours, man. For those who don't know, a few tech issues just before, but we overcame it, man. And here you are in crisp high quality. Before we get into this, man, a congratulations is in order for you, Jared, because you're about to have a shot at a major world title in one of the most popular weight classes in the sport. I'm just wondering, have you had a chance to just kind of reflect back and celebrate the fact that you're about to have that crack at the belt, which, it felt like it was coming for a long time?
I have reflected on it, but I wouldn't say I've celebrated. It's not really time to celebrate. It's time to work now, because the fight is yet to happen. So, to be honest, I'll tell this. Everybody's always asking me, "Are you excited? Are you excited?" And I always tell them, you know what, man? Everybody else is way more excited than I am about this, about what's about to happen. I'm excited. I'm happy. I love fighting. I'm excited for another reason, because I love fighting. And Israel is the biggest test of my career. So not only that, there are big stakes at hand. Like you said, the world title and all that, everything that comes with that.
Yeah,
so I'm just here. I'm staying in preparation, not really being excited. I'm just staying prepared.
Well, I think like Casper was saying, it's such an incredible situation. Only so many people ever being in a position to even claim that world title. So super excited to see it happen in International Fight Week. Man, your journey is an incredible one. I mean, you began your UFC career in 2015 at heavyweight. What do you think that Jared back then would say if you told him his first title shot will be all the way down at middleweight in 2022 headlining International Fight Week?
What would I tell myself?
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Let me think. I'd have to go into the multiverse to get that one.
Yeah.
I'd probably tell myself, wow, that's what I'm capable of, huh? And then I would turn around and tell myself, yep, that and much more. So I would spark a revolution in my chain of existence, if you will. Hopefully.
Yeah, well, that's very multiverse-like, right? It's like when you go in one, it affects another one. Your journey from the weight classes was like a multiverse in itself. You went through heavyweight, light heavyweight, and then pushed down to middleweight. Defeating legends on the way like Anderson Silva, persevering against veterans like Derek Brunson to get here at 38 years of age. It's kind of crazy to look back at the journey, or do you find it kind of crazy, like how your journey played out in the first place?
Not necessarily, because this is the only journey I've ever walked. So this is just normal to me, it's just normal everything, it's just the normal journey. I already knew when I got into this thing what I was capable of, and being a realist, we all know it's not going to happen overnight. So this is just the part of it, which is probably one of the reasons why I'm not as excited about this as most of my friends and family and all the other fans are about this fight. So for me, man, it's just another fight. Again, all the stakes are all this stuff is at stake, but that's just extra pressure if I concentrate on that. Only thing I'm really concentrating on is being the best version of myself, being better in every aspect, and also applying my mind to the task at hand, which is dethroning the champ.
I know a couple of questions back, he said you would have it would have lit a fire under you if you would have found out in 2015 that, hey, I'm fighting for the middleweight title in 2022 at International Fight Week. That makes me wonder, like, when you first got into the UFC in 2015 at heavyweight, like, did you think that you'd be fighting for a world title? Were you just there just to sort of see how it was going to play out? Break that down for us.
I knew the potential. I'm not going to say, yes, this is happening, that is happening. For me, that puts myself and puts my will, my energy inside of a box, and I have to adhere to the stipulations of making that happen. And that's not what I want to do with my life, with the time I have here on Earth. I want to be fluid, be malleable, be able to go with the flow, if you will. and not really stress about what may or may not be. So being more present. I guess I've always been that way. I've always been present in myself, in my mind. Never really rushing to make all these fantastic things happen, knowing that with my ability, I can make things happen. What? I'm not going to say, I'm not going to solidify that into the cosmos. You know, I'm going to leave it at, I'm going to leave it at the, leave it in the ether where everything is possible and anything can come out of it. And I'm just going to do the things to make it come out to my benefit.
Yeah, nice, man. Well, a good example of you being president is obviously the Derek Brunson fight, where you were able to turn that one around and get the W in emphatic fashion, by the way. And when we spoke to Eugene Berriman, he mentioned how your mindset is something that they're keeping in mind when preparing for your UFC 276. I wonder, like, how your mindset is something that, like, as in, I wonder what was going through your mind when things weren't quite going your way in the Brunson fight, and how did you turn that around, mentally?
I didn't really perceive it as it not going my way. I perceived it as this is going the way fights usually go. This man wants to wrestle me. He may get a takedown, but takedowns don't really necessarily hurt unless you injure yourself on the way down or something crazy happens. I'm aware that, this is a fight. Punches and stuff can happen. Jiu-jitsu, submissions and stuff can happen. We train for these things, I've learned how to deal with those things and mitigate them to where I don't really take much damage. He almost caught me. I wouldn't say he almost caught me in that rear naked choke. He just had the arm around around that area, but it wasn't locked in. It wasn't a thread. It wasn't even on the carotid artery. If he wanted to squeeze my jaw till it broke, I would have escaped. I was ready to make the move. I was aware. I was so aware that when we went off to the ground, looked at the clock. I'm like, oh, I could sit here. Even if he tries to, even if he tries, my brain can last for 6-7 seconds without oxygen if that happened. But that wasn't the case. I felt fine. I didn't feel like all those, he probably threw like 7-8 takedowns in that first round. To be honest, I felt that was him throwing everything in the kitchen sink at me because I was upon him. You know what I'm saying? The predator was in the cage and the cage was locked and there was nowhere else to go, nothing else to do except for what he's trained to do, which is wrestle and try to fight to the best of his ability. Mm-hmm. But he did. He fought to the best of his ability. I shrugged it right off. And second round, I got right to work. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it forever. So, and the longer you do it, the more I'm gonna learn, the more I'm gonna figure it out, the more I'm gonna turn it against you. So that's just my style. That's just how I fight. There's not really no specific strategy involved or anything like that. Yes, we do employ strategy and tactics and techniques, but as far as the mental part, where I'm coming from my mental space, I'm upon you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to, whenever I get my hands on you, I'm going to do everything to the best of my ability within the constraints of the rules and the regulations, but I'm going to destroy my target. You know what I'm saying? Get that win.
I mean, it's a dangerous mindset to have as a fighter. I wonder, when did that mindset kick in for you? Is it something you've always had since childhood, when you played sports, when you did different aspects of your life, that, okay, I'm here and I'm going to put myself upon this person in this sort of area of what I'm competing in? Or is it something that you picked up over time as you sort of grew in the sport and got your experience as a fighter?
Well, it started in my upbringing, man. I was raised around savages, I don't mean savages as uncivilized people. I mean like big dogs, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I know the theme for this fight is dogs, yards, or some shit like that. But I was raised around big dogs, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't, even though I'm the smallest of them, I wasn't the runt. I wasn't the what do they call it? The beta. I ain't no fucking beta. So that's the spark that's becoming a roaring inferno. So it was that, I think my upbringing is the reason why I've done a lot of things. It's the reason why it gave me the courage and the confidence to go into the military and take myself outside of my comfort zone and put myself in a completely foreign environment and have them take me and put me in another foreign environment, if you know what I mean. So and it was fun the whole damn time. Same thing with martial arts. You find yourself in perceivably uncomfortable situations. Somebody trying to choke you out, somebody trying to punch your lights out, something like that. But I'm elated to be in this position. I'm having fun being able to do it to my opponent. I'm having fun being able to negate what my opponent's trying to do to me. So this is fun. This is part of the journey. This is why it's not really this is why I'm not that really enamored by being in this position, because I have a different approach to it. I come at it from a different perspective, and my goal is completely different from most anybody else's, I would say.
Well, yeah, because I was going to ask you, do you realize that this is a rare mindset and this is not a mindset that a lot of fighters have? And this is something that you see in fighters before you step in with them, whether it be in a stare down or when you get a feel for their vibe and the type of person that they are? Is it something that that you can sort of take advantage of once you get in the cage with them?
Yes. It's not something that I look to. I mean, I'm not in there, having a freaking psychological mind battle with nobody or anything like that. So but I find, for me, my mental state has to be impenetrable. I can't let nobody in. I won't let nobody in. Only those who I allow in is what you will find in my mental space. So when it comes to fighting, it's not yes, it's coming from a mental place, but it's not a mental engagement with my opponent unless they're up to par. So I believe Israel is up to par, so it's going to be one of those battles, man. I feel again, that's not what I'm hoping for. You guys know what I'm hoping for. I want the easiest fight of my life. I want to make it look easy. I want all my shit to work, you know what I'm saying, with supreme efficiency. But I'm ready for whatever. And I'm ready to get my hand raised. So as far as the mental aspect of it, do I use it? I don't necessarily use it in there. I don't be like, yes, mind missile and make these guys feel scared or some shit like that. But it's effective. It works. Like I said, when I was in there with Derek Brunson, when I was in there with Derek and a lot of the other guys, I use the analogy that when the cage closes, I'm gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger, and the cage is gonna get smaller and smaller and smaller until my opponent has nowhere else to go. That's the analogy I like to do. That's the mental place where I'm coming from. I'm gonna start growing on you. So yeah, I guess that's a look into my rationale, my logic, if you will.
I like it. I appreciate you pulling the curtain back, Jared, and sort of helping us understand you better. It's funny how you say that you want to go in there, have the easiest fight, and have everything kind of work. I think you and Israel are both going in with that mentality. He was saying that he wants to make, I think he expects to make this one look kind of like UFC 101, Anderson Silva versus Forrest Griffin. But I wanted to ask you, I guess it's going to be like that for one of you guys, right?
No, for neither of us.
Neither? Why not?
Because we're too good. He may be coming from a place of arrogance, but rightfully so, man. He's high in confidence. He's been that good. Been that guy for a long time. So I can't knock him for saying what he says. But no, hell no.
Yeah, 100%. Well, if there's one thing that you do want to make look like UFC 101, Anderson Silva versus Forrest Griffin, it can be your ball trimming game. You got those big juicy plums down there. You do want to take care of them. And guys, summer is coming, man. So the sun is shining, the shirts are off, and your balls are smooth. Picture it now. You heard that right. Your good friends at Manscaped and our good friends are here to make sure your beach balls are smooth as the Floridian sand. In summer, you want to kill with some cold beers, some barbecues, not kill the vibe with your pubes peeking out. And that's where Manscaped's Lawnmower 4.0 and the Performance Package 4.0 comes to save the party and also your life and your dating life. In the Performance Package 4.0, you get the Lawnmower 4.0 with its patented advanced skin-safe technology and the ceramic blades. You don't have to worry about nicking the boys down there. It's also waterproof, so you can just smash it out in the shower, throw it on the wireless charging dock. You got 7,000 RPMs of pure power, and it's got a travel lock so it doesn't go off in your bag. And the Performance Package 4.0 also comes with the Crop Preserver ball deodorant so you can stay cool, especially in summer. I'm talking about all the American friends, of course, and Canadian friends. And then the Crop Reviver ball toner, which is kind of like, if you're in the middle of a date and you're thinking, I may be not too fresh, you run to the toilet, you splash that on there. All of a sudden, you're back in the game. You also get all sorts of little things like tweezers and tools and nail clippers in the pack. You get the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmers, and you get the Shed travel bag to keep it all in. Really is the best kind of deal, isn't that right, Dennis?
Yeah, man. And this thing is amazing when it comes to your plums, beard trimmer. What about getting that straggling one piece of hair that could potentially be coming out of your ass? Who knows where it comes out of, but you want to get rid of it before you get out on the beach. That one nipple hair that everybody is looking at. Get rid of that bad boy before you get out on the beach. And I love it, Cass, because all of our Aussie listeners and fans, everybody's going overseas right now. Everybody's getting some sun because it's freezing over here right now. So this is the perfect thing to grab as you guys get ready for a big trip, or if you guys want to get ready for a big summer, or even a big winter, or a big gym session here in Australia. 20% off with the code word submission and free shipping today. There are really no excuses. Manscape your life right now and change it to the next level. And Cass, I'm talking about travel and sort of making sure that you have everything packed. I know everybody's, they're packing their budgie smugglers. I know how we love our budgie smugglers down here. They're packing all their hats and all the stuff so they're ready, their shorts, their tank tops. One thing they're definitely forgetting is signing up to our good friends at NordVPN. There is nothing worse than when you get out on the road, and trust me, we've been there a million times. You go to watch your favorite program, you're in the airport, or you might be in the hotel room, you might be on a big bus trip, and boom, you're out of Australia and New Zealand, or you're out of America if you're listening from there, or Canada, or wherever you're listening from, and you can't have access to that latest show. What about the sports coverage that you want to check out specifically from the country that you want to watch the sports, and you're stuck with no ads, no coverage, no analysis, no nothing? Or you try to connect to Wi-Fi and everybody steals your money, your credit cards, now you're broke and you have to hook around and make money down some dark alleys just in order to be able to make enough money to come home. NordVPN has you sorted right now with their amazing range of VPN offers that will secure your Wi-Fi connection, give you access to all of your subscriptions, give you access to different countries when it comes to buying cheaper products, or accessing all the video feeds, shows, and things from there, such as the craziness that we can't access here. And it also offers you an amazing 3-pack option where you guys can save up to 68%. I just want to quickly mention this, Cass, before we move on to this. We've got the standard package, when that includes everything for the secure high-speed VPN, the malware protection, the tracker, and ad blocker. That's only $329 per month. Then you can move up to the Plus, which also offers the cross-platform password manager, data breach scanner. Or if you're feeling frisky, why not feel froggy? Why not jump the complete package? You've got that 1 terabyte of encrypted cloud storage, and that's only $5.99 per month with a 68% saving. Plus, you guys get 1 bonus month for free just because you listen to Submission Radio. Isn't that right, Cass?
Jesus, think of all the Brazzers stuff you can store on that 1 terabyte storage. No, I kid, but in all seriousness, get the exclusive NordVPN deal at nordvpn.com/submission. It is risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Isn't that right, Dennis?
That's right, man. And just quickly as well, I know we're speaking to Jared, and the big event is coming up. International Fight Week, man. I can't wait to check out some of these fights. So many big fights, so much at stake at the event. And there's only one place to go to put down all of your UFC 276 betting and bets, and that is with our friends at MyBookie. You guys could sign up right now with the code word submission and double your first deposit, make some serious cash. I'm just looking at some odds right now at time of recording. Your Jared Cannonier plus 295, Israel minus 370, Max Holloway versus Alex Volkanovski. Alex Volkanovski minus 190, Max Holloway plus 155. What about Sean Strickland versus Alex Pereira? Alex Pereira coming into the division and possibly making a big splash. He is at a minus 120, Alex is, and Sean Strickland minus 110. All your bets, all the odds, all the craziest opportunities to make the most amount of money. It's only at one place, and that is at MyBookie, Cass.
Yeah, that's right. Make some absolute bank at MyBookie, our friends, your friends, and get rich at this UFC 276 International Fight Week. But with that said, I want to go back in time a little bit. And Jared, let me ask you. I want to also go back to Israel's last fight against Robert Whittaker, and I'm curious what your take was on that one. Who did you have winning, and was there anything particular that you sort of learned or took away from that fight that you think you might be able to apply when you fight Israel?
I wouldn't say that I learned anything or noticed anything from him. I just noticed how I just see the human being that he is, especially watching him from a few as a future opponent. I just see him as a human being. I see him definitely fighting to his reputation, if you will. He was in there trying to take Robert's head off. He was throwing some nasty shots in there. They weren't landing because Robert has good movement and he makes it a little bit chaotic. But I saw the energy. So the dude was in there trying to put it on him. I foresee him trying to do that to me. Maybe even a worse way, which is why he thinks it's going to be easy. He thinks it's going to work because they keep playing on this heavyweight thing and that he's a heavyweight and stuff like that. But me being a heavyweight is due to undiscipline, not due to my lack of skill, not due to my knowledge of what we're doing here. So it's going to be a completely different fight. I'm a completely different fighter. I'm a completely different fighter depending on who I'm fighting as well. And that's one thing people don't really people don't recognize. So when I fight him, I'm going to fight to the ability that he's going to bring out of me, But more than that, I'm going in there with a goal. It's going to be a different fight, what I'm saying? I'm not trying to go to the decisions. I'm not trying to go to the scorecards with this man. I ain't trying to have 5-round wars with him. He's too fucking good, you know what I'm saying? The longer I'm in there with him, the better chance he has of winning, and vice versa. The longer he's in there with me, the more chances I'm going to have for winning. And I ain't trying to go in there and have no wars, man. I ain't trying to shorten my career. I'm already up there in age, as people seem to think. But I'm trying to have a long career, man. I foresee myself being old, big ass gray fro with a big ass gray beard, rib chiseled to the fucking bone, maybe a few battle wounds. I already got some with a big ass fucking axe or a sword. You know what I'm saying? Some type shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see myself. If I were to put a point on the future, that's one thing I'm shooting for right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm trying to go in there and make it easy. I'm going to, and I'm not, yeah. I can sit here and gloat on myself and talk about how I'm different from everybody else. And we've heard that shit before. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to go in there and do what the fuck I do. I'm going to go in there, do what I train to do. I'm going to give it the best that I have. And I know that's going to be enough.
Yeah, well, I like the way you put that. How, a lot of people sort of talk about taking on Israel and what they're going to do, but you're looking forward to getting in there and getting it done. I also saw you tagged him on an Instagram post where you said, "Hey, at Stylebender, have you tried shit?" And I think that was, a response to a Jan Blachowicz article there. Can you sort of take us into that though a little bit? Like, what made you want to post that? I know you're not too vocal usually on socials.
I thought it was funny. Jan beat me. Jan beat him. Jan just lost the belt, and he's talking about, what it feels like to lose a belt. I thought the way he expressed it was very Yannick. You know what I'm saying? It sounded funny coming from him. You know what I'm saying? And real. It was real coming from him. On top of that, and from my perspective, I feel that Izzy's in a position to be in the same position, to be in the same position. I'm not sitting here thinking like, oh, I don't think I can fight him. Or I know I can beat him. It's everybody else that don't believe that shit, but that doesn't change how I feel about it. So he is a possibility that I go in there and whoop his ass and take his belt, and he's gonna taste what Jan was talking about. Maybe. I don't know how he really feels about being in a position or winning the fight. But I assume, as a fellow Muntu martial artist, I assume that, it's not the end of the world for him. He's still living his best life, and he's lost before, and he took it like a champ. So there you go.
100%. I also wonder, like, I remember ages ago, Israel was on the show and he was chatting to us and he was sort of gloating about you. And he said it's just very, I'm trying to think of the exact quote, but he said it was very important for the history of the sport, two black men in their prime, having a fight like this. There was so much respect between you guys. And I think that's still the case. But obviously, like when there's little pokes like saying that your crystals won't save you and stuff like that, I am curious, and because sometimes you guys can be a bit stoic, like what is the kind of vibe between both of you guys? Like what would fight week actually be like between the two of you?
Well, I ain't got no chip on my shoulder whatsoever. I feel the same way about him that I've always felt. He's another man, another black man, like he said. You know what I'm saying? We're both on the same path. He's on the path, his path to greatness. I'm on my path to greatness. You know what I'm saying? We both have we both, have things in common as far as we're fighting the UFC, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. And there's a lot of people watching us, you know what I'm saying? That aspect isn't really talked about. Black male role models, I know it's played upon. I think it's being trying to be corrupted. But anyway, I think anyway, I don't want to poeticize the whole fucking thing or anything like that. But like I said, you know what I'm saying? I don't see him as my enemy or anything like that. I see us as co-workers. I see us as two guys hustling. We found our hustle. We found our niche. And we're going to exploit it to the best of our ability. We're working together to make some shit happen. Even though, on the outside, it looks like we're punching and we're using hate and violence and shit, but that ain't it at all. You know what I'm saying? He's a martial artist. I'm a martial artist. We're going to come together. We're going to exchange energy and create the best fucking thing you guys have ever seen on TV. And, that's it. That's just it. I have all the respect for him. I know we're fighting each other, but, I don't have any ill will against him. I'm just here to do a job and have fun doing it. And, winning is fun. So that's what I'm trying to do. And he's trying to do the same thing. I ain't trying to sit here and smite him and his whole family or anything like that. It ain't even that fucking deep to me. It's for me, to be honest, for me, these fights are merely tests to see how far have I gone. How great, how good am I? How good, you know what I'm saying? For me, I'm just testing myself. And Israel's the next exam. You know what I'm saying? He's just a sheet of paper for me to make my marks on. It's all multiple choice, so I can throw guesses in there if I want to. Unless he comes up with a good question where I got to really think. And again, I've said this before. I feel that this guy, being the striker that he is, being, having the experience that he has, he may bring that out of me if it's necessary. But if it ain't necessary, I'll go in there and, swing and bang, knock his ass off, and take the belt home.
Oh, man, I love a good multiple choice test. This is how I was able to somehow manage to eventually get a degree. So thank you so much to the people who created those multiple choice tests. Hey, let me quickly ask you this, because I know you mentioned earlier in the interview that you don't want to be one of these guys that's like, hey, I'm going to go and do this. You want to go out there and show it. But I just want to sort of pick your brain and get a little taste of your thoughts on what the sort of thing is that people have missed when they fought him, because we've spoken to fighters, a lot of fighters coming up to fight him who have fought him. Some of them believe the key is to fighting him, not pushing forward too much, not going forward onto his punches, not giving his shots momentum, not falling into traps. Others would tell us it's about hanging back, not rushing in, not sort of creating the opportunity for him to counter. Others have said the key is to wrestle him, take him to the ground, get him to the fence. As you can imagine, we spoke to a lot of people because he's had an incredible run. But Is there one little thing that sort of stands out to you that you believe is the key to putting him away?
Hell no, man. Come on, that's a dumbass question. He's too fucking good. He's too good.
See, this
He's
is a
too good
multiple
for one
choice
thing.
test. This is why I passed them.
I know all of the above. All of the above, right?
Yeah.
No. In all honesty, I think he's too good of a striker. He's too good of a combatant for you to just come up at him with one thing and expect this is the thing that's going to work. You know.
Do you think people focus too much in one specific area and not on all of the above?
I don't know what people do. And if I watched his fights, every fight starts on the feet. You know, Izzy has got good footwork to where he can control. Izzy's footwork is likened to a wrestler's takedown, as the ability to control where the fight's going to take place. So, and his takedown defense. So, so he's been really good at using space to his advantage, controlling time and space. Dr. Strange over here.
Yeah.
But I just watched that movie yesterday, speaking of which.
I was wondering why you keep bringing up these dimensions and stuff. I was going to ask you what movie you were watching. I love it.
I just saw it yesterday. It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of occultism, but anyway, what the fuck was I talking about again?
We're going to talk about Dr. Cannonier, which is the sequel to Doctor Strange, which is happening. The UFC 276 as you go through different dimensions and beat them. But no, you were talking about how, like you can't be single. You can't focus on.
You can't be. Point. Yeah. You gotta be multi-dimensional. No,
you gotta get all the crystals. Right, all the crystals. You got to put them.
Crystals are for something else. You know, everybody. I've heard this. I've heard this before. Crystals won't save you. I'm not saying this directly to him, but I've heard this from many different people. And the ref checks our pockets before we go into the cage. I'm definitely not in there fighting with any crystals. You guys don't have to worry about anything like that. So it's just me in there kicking ass. No crystals, no nothing like that.
But they matter in the Marvel universe, though, the crystals. Don't forget. Although we're talking Dr. Cannonier, which is the next.
No, that guy was an asshole, man. Dr. Strange is arrogant. How can you have that much power and get into so much fucking chaos and so much fucking shit? You know what I'm saying? If I had that power, come on, man. Come on. Somebody's got to fucking clean this shit up. And all these people with all these superpowers ain't doing it yet. They ain't doing it right. They're part of the problem. They're part of the agenda.
I like
to keep us in chaos and shit. But anyway, back to the subject. Yes, you have to. You got to be multidimensional. It's an MMA fight. This isn't a kickboxing fight. It's not a wrestling match, you know. And on top of that, the human brain doesn't really work too well when you split it out in many different places. So that's always my goal. You know, I'm not in here learning how. I didn't move to the MMA lab to be the best kickboxer or be the best wrestler or be the best one-track minded fighter in the world. I came to be the best mixed martial artist that I can be. And the world is not even no competition. So let me make that clarification. The world isn't competition. The world doesn't exist in here. Only I exist in here. And that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest issue that I'm dealing with day in, day out. So my goal is to be better than that right there. That energy, that spark that resides within me, the potential to be the best thing anybody or anything can even fathom. As far as mixed martial arts goes, back to the subject at hand, I'm just trying to be the best mixed martial artist. And I'm on my way. And Israel Adesanya is the next test. Damn the belt, damn all the lights, the fight week, and oh my God, this is the biggest moment of your life. No, it ain't. I think being born is the biggest moment, and then dying is going to be the second biggest moment of my life. So that's it, man. Everything in between is just filler.
Well, the next step on the journey, as you said, Jared, UFC 276, Jared Cannonier versus Israel Adesanya. I should say Israel Adesanya versus Jared Cannonier, which goes down Sunday, July 3rd, here in Australia and New Zealand. And of course, make sure to follow the man on Instagram at Killer Gorilla MMA. Always a pleasure and an honor to chat with you, Jared. I feel like these chats always get deep in between a couple of movie reviews in between there. But love chatting with you, man. Thank you so much for chatting with us ahead of this massive fight.
And the new T-shirt as well, right? Jared, you got that new T-shirt out ahead of fight week that everybody can grab.
Well,
Really
unfortunately, we've hit sort of a snafu with our with some of these shirts.
What happened?
Yes, we do have new shirts, but the printing, I think the ink didn't settle right, and it's not right. It ain't perfect. It's not a product that I want to sell, put my name on to sell. We do still, however, have I think these are second or third gen Killer Gorilla shirts. They come in multiple colors. Nice. Oh shit. Here, let me get one for you. There you go. Here's a red one. We still have those. And a few other things on the way. I'm going to be handing over the shirt thing because it's just too much of a hassle. We're doing it all ourselves right now. And it's just a hassle right now. So we're working on it. We still have the website, though. The link is in my bio on Instagram. We try to keep it up to date, and my wife tries to stay on it. So I haven't had any complaints yet. So,
well, there you guys go. Make sure to keep an eye on that. Some big merch coming, but of course, a huge fight as well around the corner. Thank you so much for joining us, Jared. It's such an honor speaking to you, man. Can't wait to watch the fight. And thank you so much for breaking it all down for us. It's always an honor.
Awesome, guys. Thank you for having me yet again. One quick shout out to Crystal Council, Thrival, Muscle Recovery. I think that's it.
Don't and
Air's Physical Therapy. And of course to the team, MMA Lab.
You've been teaching over there as well, we see. So that's pretty awesome. So shout out to MMA Lab.
Class over there. Yeah. Shout out to the team, shout out to the coaches, all the people who come in and who's always mixing in their energies into this thing that I'm trying to do here. So much love and appreciation to you all and to the fans as well.
And to Benson Henderson, who's probably like, why don't you put a crystal in your mouth? I did it with a toothpick for years. It'll.
Well, the ref checks for those, and I ain't trying to choke on them. I ain't trying to. I ain't trying to become a meme or anything.
That's it. Good energy, man. Catch you later, Jared. Thanks for chatting.
All right, guys. Peace out.
All the best,
Bye.
Jared. Thanks, man.